Hey, Nick.
Hey, Chase.
It's that time again.
What time is it?
Time for
Fuck This Place!
We've been doing this for a year. We dropped it. Okay, well, my name is still Nick after that. My name is Nick. And with us today is an actress, a wonderful actress, a longtime friend of mine. You've seen her on How to Get Away. So I have your credits. God, I'm bombing this whole thing. You know what?
You know, we all took a nap, you know?
Yeah.
That's the thing we didn't tell you is that we were napping too. We weren't actually even here.
You take naps right before you record and then it's over. It's
Okay, fine. I'll introduce the podcast. Fine. Welcome to Fuck This Place, a podcast about jobs with Chase and Nick. My name is Chase.
My name is Nick, and with us today is a fantastic actress, one of my oldest friends. You've seen her in How to Get Away with Murder, Lucifer, and many more things. Give it up for the awesome LaFonda Baker.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I'm sorry that was so challenging for me.
We did it, but we made it through.
You did make it through.
Thanks for joining us, LaFonda.
How's it going, LaFonda? How you been?
I have been really good.
Good. Throw my phone away now.
How's Atlanta right now? What's the vibe?
The vibe is it's very normal.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
one of my friends in LA is visiting. He's a comedian, and he's like, "You guys just don't give a damn." I'm like, "We don't."
Yeah.
So it's completely normal. Aside from, of course, people are wearing masks everywhere. Like you wouldn't know that the city has faced any kind of pandemic whatsoever.
Man,
well, I would also say because
wild.
you guys film The Walking Dead out there, so you guys are also just used to seeing zombies or like whatever. You're just used to seeing crazy.
They do that
shit.
in the woods, dude. I don't think they see that at like the Coke Museum.
I'm used to seeing zombies in LA because
a
lot of them.
Yeah, it's a tough scene.
That's fair.
It's a real
that's
tough
a
scene.
fair. A lot of zombies pooping outside. See it a lot in LA.
Man,
you don't see that in the zombie
okay.
movies.
One other clarifying. I'm from North Carolina, so I'm gonna be going back in December, and I'm just bracing myself for the culture shock. Are people? What's the indoor dining situation?
Normal.
Normal. All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Man.
So you do see a lot more people trying to eat outside to try to social distance.
Sure.
You can go to certain restaurants where they will try to skip a table, but
they'll try. Wait. They'll try, and then other ones are like, "Look, come on, where's the restaurant?"
They're like, "You can either leave or you can sit here."
Right.
And then at my place of business where I work, we don't do social distance whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So in the beginning, we would skip a table, and now it's just like, whatever. If you want to come in and eat, we don't care. But we do wear our masks the entire time.
Sure. The bare minimum.
Yeah. You can only fight that wave so hard before you're like, God, well, okay, I'm gonna protect me, and that's all I can fucking do at this point.
Literally, that's all you can do, because you have some people who come into the place that I work and they wear their masks and they try to keep them on the entire time up until it's time to eat. And then you have some people who are like this close to your face and they don't wear anything at all, and they don't care, and it doesn't exist. So,
Man, those people seem great.
They
I bet you those people were great customers. They don't have any other issues. They're like, I'm here to be polite and order one thing and not complain about it.
Yeah, they don't wear Trump stickers or anything.
Got it. Yeah. Very even keeled individuals. Well, LaFonda, the first segment on every podcast that we like to do is a segment we call "Fuck This Place?" ?
Okay.
Where we decide if we would work somewhere or not. We know you're originally from Stockton, but you're currently in Atlanta. So we actually looked up some Atlanta Craigslist jobs.
Okay.
And so what we're going to do is I'm going to read the title to 3 of them. You're going to pick the one you don't want to look at, and then we're going to look at the other 2, and we'll decide if we would fuck this place or not.
Okay.
So we're going blind, just like you're browsing Craigslist. First title is Children's Book Reviewers. Second title, Halloween and Wedding Event. And last title, Carnival Work. Which one do you not want to look at? Carnival, Halloween and Wedding Event, or Children's Book Reviewers?
Carnival work.
Yeah, you
Mm,
know,
yeah.
we know that's scary. Like that.
Yeah.
That's really sketchy.
Yeah, immediately you're like, I don't know how many fingers I'm going to be seeing on each hand I see here.
Or how many fingers I'm going to leave with as well.
Yeah,
You know?
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
more of what I'm thinking.
Yeah, losing a hand on the teacups.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. We're just gonna leave that where it is. So we're gonna take a look at the first post, which
Okay.
is children's book reviewers. Okay, and that is our title. And so the text begins. There's no photos or anything, and it just starts. Looking for children's book enthusiasts. Need a large group of adults, kids, and families who love kids' books. Must genuinely love children's books, movies, toys, etc. All ages wanted in all caps. Strange ask so far.
Yeah.
You know, for
really
my
really heavy on me loving kids books.
pretty hard.
Mhm.
And there's only one more paragraph and then it's done. So we'll finish that. If interested in participating, please reply with age, city, kids/no kids, your current favorite kids book.
Wow.
With your direct/personal email. No Craigslist emails will be accepted. We need real people with real names and real emails. Thank you so much. Take care. And that's the post. Oh, compensation, $250 cash plus free copy of books.
All right.
And that's the post.
I'm like immediately feeling like these are the type of people, like, you know, if you're like on a sports team and there's like one guy yelling at you that you don't want it enough, like I feel like they're going to be saying that to me about kids' books. Like, you don't like kids' books enough. Like, you're not here for the right reasons.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
I feel like I'm going to be yelled at a lot by some people that love kids' books.
I feel like it's sketchy that they need to know if I have kids or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not sure if this is some sort of entrapment deal where they're just looking for kids.
Yeah.
Could you put your kid on the phone, actually?
It is weird. It is weird that they want to know whether you have kids or not. But again, like if this was legitimate, which there is almost a guarantee that it's not. But if this was legitimate and you're doing market research, like I guess those things matter, but not really, because like especially the kid, no kid situation. I don't think that there's a huge market for people who do not have children who buy children's books. But then again, there's a possibility that there is a massive market. You know what I mean? Like people who are the My Little Pony people, you know, the bronies or whatever. You know, people who are like, they buy dolls, you know. So there could be people who are like, yeah, no, I go to children's book con, you know, and maybe those people are like super customers and they buy like 600 books or 40 books compared to parents who are only in the market for like a couple of years. Anyway, there's lots of ways around this. Again, I don't think these people are that legitimate in any way, but what if they were?
I mean, like, I understand that it takes all kinds to make a world, but just that description, that weirds me out so much. That person you just made up there, the Bronx. That guy sounds real sketchy to me. But
a children's book con, that's
yeah. But what if you're really into like watercolors, you know, and like okay, here's a legit. Okay, we're going on a bit of a tangent. My wife is really into movie scores, or at least was in like high school, because she was in like marching band. Oof, this is not looking good for anybody. But but like, you know, because movie scores are one of the only places where like accessible and new classical style music is coming out. Like obviously there's like super nerds who are doing like violin concertos or whatever, but like, you know, as far as like mass consumption, it's all in that. So I'm just saying, if you're a really big fan of watercolors, this is a big workaround here. I'm doing a lot of heavy lifting and I will get there, I promise. If you're a big fan of like watercolors, where else are watercolors being consumed on a mass scale? Children's books.
Okay.
So like the illustrators.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll just pray to God
again,
that this
that's
guy
a
doesn't
huge
actually
reach.
Exist, but.
Maybe in the 90s. I feel like nowadays, you know, the children's books aren't really illustrated with a lot of watercolors anymore.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It was a thin argument and it has fallen flat immediately.
Yeah, I'm with you, LaFonda, in that I am weirded out. I would say if I'm going to try to defend these people, which I don't know why I am, but let's just say instead that it's that they want you to have kids, and that if you don't have kids, then they're weirded out by you. So maybe that's how they weed you out. I feel like that makes some sense as to kids.
That makes a lot of sense.
We'll give them that. That is again, a far better explanation than the 10 minutes I took.
Yeah. You're just like, but the watercolors, people love them, man.
I mean, some of them are very good.
Some of them are very good.
I'm just saying, some of them.
Okay.
Here's an thing that says to me that these people are not on Craigslist ever. It says no Craigslist emails will be accepted. And nobody has a Craigslist email. And like if I click reply to this, it goes to their randomized Craigslist email or whatever. Yeah, it's like just a bunch of stuff. But when I write to them, it comes from my email. You have to come from an email service. Craigslist is not an email service. So
yeah. So these people like ironically haven't read the directions on.
I'm just saying these people. Yeah, these might be rookies.
Got it.
Scary rookies, but rookies.
They could also just be trying to make sure if this is some sort of like pedophile ring they're trying to catch. That's kind of what I'm. This is very Law and Order to me.
Okay, like a Dateline thing.
They're we need to make sure you're real. That you like kids and or possibly have them in your basement. And we need to know your name and your email. We need to be able to contact you so that we can begin.
This is a sting operation.
And that's the energy I'm getting. I'm feeling like they do want the weirdos. Hence the kids no kids question. So they can try to entrap people.
All right. Yeah.
I mean, that would be way cooler than what we were coming up with.
I mean, they could also be into watercolors.
Yeah. Those are our options. Well, just given all the scenarios we have collectively pitched, I don't want anything to do with this place.
Yeah.
And honestly, they don't want anything to do with me. I remember a couple of kids' books from when I was a kid, but I'm not still like up on the game. And yeah, to your point, LaFonda, if I didn't have kids, I'm not still just like kind of just perusing the kids' book section. To see like, what are these? What's going on now? You know, what are the kids like now?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You don't even want to be in the kids' book section of the store.
Yeah. If I am, I'm just like speed walking out of it.
You're not 30s. Still a Scholastic Book Club subscriber.
Yeah.
You don't know what's new.
You're not sitting in one of those little tiny chairs.
Yeah, just like just aging myself. Like, where do you guys have the Goosebumps books? I'm never gonna finish.
It's the latest Animorphs. Okay. I'm gonna say fuck this place also because I'm not a watercolor enthusiast. And I also don't want to get busted on a sting operation.
Yeah. What say you, LaFonda? You're out, yeah?
I'm out.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't think children's book reviewers really stood a chance. Although this could have been just like a typical. We run into Craigslist all the time where it's like, we'll pay you $50 to like tell us if you like this soda, you know?
Exactly.
And they took a hard left turn from that. So that's on them. Okay, post number 2 is Halloween and wedding event. And this is a bit of a list, I guess. We're just going to get started. No pictures. It says we need, and then there's a list. I feel bad saying this word, but it is in the text of the article, so I'm going to say it. A male or female midget. I think they mean little people.
Right.
Then it says costume character worker, food prep person, painter for self-portraits, person that can act, sing, and dance like Michael Jackson or Prince with costume singing is a must, professional. And then the list ends with hip hop violinist. And that's the post.
This list feels like it was written by a character in like a Van Wilder movie. This is like a guy in Harold and Kumar wrote this list.
My question. Oh, sorry. Compensation does say 50 plus.
Oh.
Could be dollars. Could be something else.
Bottle caps.
I hope that they want this to be different people.
I'm assuming so.
Okay.
They should have put some bullets there, but
bullets would have helped.
Yeah.
Really would have helped.
We are looking for one magical being.
I mean, a couple of these could overlap, but again, I think you're gonna have a hard time food prepping and being a hip hop violinist at the professional level.
Yeah. Oh man, this like immediately. These people think they're a lot of fun, but they suck.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh man. I mean, like, I don't want to. Man, this is gonna be mean to say because I am going to a Halloween/wedding event, but that it's not this one. It better not be this one. I swear to God.
Well, I would guess. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Nick. Is it more of a Halloween wedding event, or is it just a wedding that happens to be around Halloween?
It's the wedding that happens to be around Halloween.
That's what I'm thinking. It might be a Halloween themed wedding.
Sure. Is it a Halloween themed wedding, Nick?
So
that you're going to?
No. It's their favorite holiday, so they wanted to have another day around that holiday.
You're right, LaFonda. Maybe this could be a Halloween themed wedding, although I feel like they would say that.
Do you think they're dressed up as like Gomez and Morticia Addams when you get there?
I don't know, but I will say that for some reason, LaFonda, you saying that everything is back is like as if there was no coronavirus. For some reason, this ad checks out based off of that. You know what I mean? Like, no, I don't think I'd ever see. I feel like I was going to say I would never see this on LA Craigslist, but I'm wrong. I feel like it would be on LA Craigslist, but it would be
you definitely would see this.
Yeah, 100%.
It would just say at the end, like, we have masks.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't even know, like, do they mean like Halloween masks? Or?
It would just say short film at the end.
No, this feels immediately like it's gonna just be awful. I don't want to. This feels like, just like I said, I can't get past how fratty this feels. Like this is a list that like a scavenger hunt list. You know, too much like a late 90s coming of age comedy.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I definitely feel like if you get hired, they're also going to ask you to find other people to fill those slots.
They don't know. You're absolutely right. If they find one hip hop violinist or person that can act and sing and dance like Michael Jackson or Prince with costume singing is a must. If they find that person, they hope that you know every other category of person they're looking for. This does sort of read a little bit like someone's had too many Four Locos and they just were like, that's going to be the ultimate Halloween and wedding event.
Do you think maybe at first it was we need a hip hop violinist and they're like, we're never going to find that, but if we do, maybe we'll also be able to find, and then they just came up with the rest of that list? like in reverse.
I think they honestly only need a food prep person, and they were like, if we could get the rest.
That's just icing on the cake, so to speak.
Right.
The rest of the stuff is being yelled at by like a fat guy who's floating in a swimming pool, like in the background. He's like, get a midget.
Someone just tossed him a Bud Light seltzer and he missed.
He missed.
I do think, though, there's a chance that these people are a lot richer than they claim that they are. You know, this 50 plus, like,
the sky's the limit after that.
I'm just saying, I'm a painter for self-portraits. That's $50 per self-portrait unless we arrange a group rate.
You
know what I mean? So, but I'm not obviously, no, I don't trust these people. I'm obviously have to go on their property and they're going to lock the door behind me. When I arrive.
You're going to be some weird opening kill in the Purge movie that they're trying to do. I'm saying no. I don't want any part of this one.
I'm out. I'm out too.
Oh, 2 strikes, you know.
It's the way it goes.
Tough world. Well, fuck this place. What's up, everybody?
What's going on, guys?
Wanted to remind you that you can text the podcast anytime you want.
Night or day, whenever the hell you want.
It's fine. It's the number is 470-BAD-JOBS. The actual numbers are 470-223-5627. That's the number.
So anytime you want. Like I said, middle of the night, whenever. We don't got jobs right now. Whatever's going on with you is going on with us.
I mean, absolutely. Maybe you still have a job and it's like shitty. You can tell us about that. Maybe you don't have a job and it was shitty before.
Maybe you're getting one of those weird like temperature forehead checks right now.
For sure.
And you want to pull out your phone and just say, you know what, fuck you guys. I'm going to text 470 bad jobs.
470-223-5627 is the number. That is the number. And you can also call us if you want, but I mean, whatever. It's your choice. That's the point here.
All right. So LaFonda, what is the first job you ever had?
The first job I ever had was at a childcare place in Stockton, California called Lots of Tots. And I basically was like a teenage teacher's assistant. I was like 14. I forgot what they called it. I don't know if you remember, Nick, when they used to do like, it was like a summer work program where they were like hire like teenagers.
Yeah.
It was like a part of that.
Yeah. And did you went through school for it? Like you had to like kind of like middle of the road, like middleman go like, bam, my school said it's cool, so I'm gonna be here. Did you have to do that?
I think it was something like that, like where they kind of like place you. But my brother used to go there. Like he was like one of the kids there.
Oh, okay.
Granted, he was in another class and I didn't work in his class, but somehow I got like specially placed because we knew somebody who knew somebody.
Yeah.
So wait, you did go to the building? Like he go there, like he attended like as a child,
He attended as a child.
Would show up like after school or?
No, like he was only like 2 and 3. Like he went there when he was like a newborn, but I think at that time he was like 3 years old. So like my mom used to literally take him there for childcare and then go to work.
Got it. And then you would go. When would you go? Like after school or weekends?
I would go. Yes, sorry, you're right. I would go when I went there. I went like after school. Like they had like a little after school program, so that's how they knew me.
Right.
And then when I got like old enough, like I would still go there to pick up my brother and stuff like that. So when the program started, it was like, oh, I want to work here.
Because you knew the place.
So I ended up working there, and it was really interesting.
I was gonna ask, did working there, especially having attended, did you have a perspective shift on like, oh wow, these people are insane, or
kind of? I think, kind of. It was it's hard to work with children, you know?
Yeah.
There was like a moment where like there was like a 4-year-old pileup on my body.
Yeah. Okay.
And I thought I was gonna die. Like it's funny because they'll show like zombie movies with kids, and usually it's like a horror comedy. That's just not funny, man. Those kids can really attack.
Well, every kid weighs like 60, 70 pounds.
And all you need is a good 2 or 3. It's over for you.
Your lungs are not built for that.
You're just laying there like this. This is how I go.
You're right. This is how I'm going out with these kids.
You're right about kids though. I don't know if I feel like out loud throughout my life I've said to kids, I thought you were cool. Like when you think that like you feel like you're like, yeah, but this kid is cool, and then they have a meltdown or they do something and you're like, you're not cool, man. I thought we were friends.
No. And I also experienced this little boy. His name was Scotty. He had a crush on me. He was 4. And so like I would be like reading to him and he'd just start kissing me all on my neck. It was,
oh my God.
Yeah, it was a lot. And it's like, how do you stop a child from sexually harassing you when you're like,
That's a great question.
How do you do it?
How did you do it?
What'd you do?
It was just a lot of no's and okay, all right.
Yeah.
Walk away, and unfortunately, you treat them kind of like adult men.
Yeah. I'm actually here just to be with my friend. I'm just dancing with my friend. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah, it is like I was just thinking about the transition between being a child there and like being in charge. Like you realize when you are in charge of children, just how little the people are in charge like have going on. Or like have in mind of what's next. Even like you realize like sort of the razor thin edge that you just sort of of control in some ways that you live on, of just like the kids could pile up on you and just suffocate you at a moment's notice,
literally. And the crazy thing is I ended up working in childcare as an adult, for like a few years. And that happened to me again as an adult. I thought I was gonna die.
Okay.
And it was way more kids, and it's worse because like you're trying to pretend like you're still in control. Like you're like, all right, get off me, but you're really please get off me. Like I cannot breathe.
I am actually begging you.
I am really begging now at this point.
So it's just a regular event in your life at times, just be dogpiled by kids.
Yeah, it's happened to me twice at least.
Twice is a lot.
Also, so.
When I was a kid, my mom worked at one of those types of things too when I was real young, and it was called it was like a Teens with Tots program. It was specifically for kids in school who would like in high school would had kids, and then so they could keep going to school. And so one of the things that like my mom obviously would never get involved in it really, but one thing was that sometimes she would know high school kid drama, like because she's having to be around them. Did you get to? Yeah. So did you like know any you know the parents? You develop a relationship with the parents or like any of that, and was that cool?
Well, okay. For my first job, no, I think I was too shy, and I was one of those kids that enjoyed being a kid, which is probably why I still watch cartoons. So I was not in any of the family adult drama at all.
Just real quick, how old were you? I'm sorry if I missed that. At the first
job. For my first job, I was 14.
Got it. Okay, cool.
But when I ended up doing this again in my 20s, that's when I started, because the kids will come up to you and they'll just be like, my daddy slapped mommy in the face. And you're just like,
whoa, really? Yeah.
Like
you
this
thought,
one kid. Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you thought this conversation was gonna be mostly about Cheez-Its, but then it's like all domestic violence.
Like you're just like coloring with them because you have to find those moments of peace for yourself. And you're just like, oh yeah, this is really nice. So you're like just and then they just tell you stuff and you're just like, or you'll wonder like one time we all got sick and we were trying to figure out, like I got strep throat a couple of times as an adult. Like working with kids is dangerous because they get all kinds of diseases that you aren't used to anymore because you're not a child anymore. You're not eating dirt. You know what I mean? So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dirt eating's done. Yeah,
like stuff where they're like, you shouldn't have had this sickness since you were 10. You're like, well, I work with 10-year-olds, so I have it again. But I remember this little girl, she was so cute. And she was like basically telling us how her mom got sick and then her dad got sick and then she got sick and they made her come to school anyway. And I was like, are you literally telling me like that you're the reason we all got sick and your parents knew you were sick?
Right.
So I kind of like shared that tea. I was like, hey, just so you know, like little Susie 6 weeks ago. So like little stuff like that. Or like one time I had this child who I totally favored. He was like my favorite little boy. And I saw his dad at the club. And his dad was like, yo, what's up with me and you? And I'm like, I am literally your child's teacher. And that is so good.
Yeah, that is really, yeah.
And I see your ex because that's his mom all the time. Like,
yeah.
So like I've had stuff like that happen, but
you don't need that bad TV show angle going on in your real life.
Right. Where the big reveal is she actually used to be his teacher.
Yeah.
Right. For the 14-year-old gig, did your responsibilities end at a certain point? Like just like wondering if you were like a full-fledged employee basically? Or...
No, so it was just a summer program, thank God. And I think that they were ready for me to be done also.
Oh, okay.
So no, I just did the little summer program. And then as soon as I was over, I was just back to picking up my little brother, with my mom.
But why were they glad? Why were they glad it was overtime?
I feel like I started kind of messing up. I don't remember the details. I just remember them moving me from one class to another. I know somewhere along the lines they were just like, this isn't a good fit for you, so we're gonna move you over here. Right. I literally don't remember the details. I just remember that it kind of got shaky towards the end.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where you like look back later in your life, you're like, did they not like me? Wait a minute. Like using like adult sensibilities, be like, wait a second, they hated me.
Yeah, it's like I think I was kind of annoying. I do remember I remember feeling a sense of like they were tired of me. I just
That's great.
Okay, so LaFonda, that was your first job. What would you say is the worst job you've ever had?
I would have to say, so I work as a server now. So I work in restaurants as a waitress. And anyone who's ever worked in the food industry knows that it just varies based on the restaurant. It's not necessarily the job itself, even though that it can suck sometimes. But I would have to say that the worst job I ever had was when I worked specifically at this PF Chang's in Long Beach.
Okay. The PF Chang's in Long Beach.
Yes. So I worked at a PF Chang's at the Beverly Center and I loved it. It was great. And then it closed down and I was transferred to a PF Chang's in Long Beach.
Which is like not close. You know,
not
for those
all.
who are not familiar.
That's a hike.
I lived in Long Beach at the time.
Okay.
Okay.
So I used to literally,
because
I didn't have a car, so I literally used to travel like 2 hours just to get to
that
the one at the Beverly Center.
God damn.
Yeah. Because you take the blue line all the way up and then you take.
You know I did.
And then what to the Beverly Center? You take because the train stops, the purple line stops like. Way
so I used
short.
to have to catch a train and then a bus.
Yep. That bus that goes down Wilshire. Yeah, that bus.
I think so. I think so.
Sure,
but
we don't have to bring up that kind of memory. Yeah.
Yeah, it used to take me directly there. I do know that.
We believe you got there.
And then I went to the one in Long Beach, which was like a 20-minute walk.
Wow.
From my house.
Should be a dream.
Horrific.
Okay, so I mean, I'm sure you're going to get into this, but like,
yeah,
what made the good one so good, and what made the bad one so bad?
So the good one was good because it was pretty laid back. I'm a pretty laid back person overall, so like even the restaurant I work at now, like it's super laid back. So I'm coming to realize that it has to be laid back. It was very laid back. We still have the standard of service and all of that stuff, but the managers there were not like up your ass about everything. You know, they kind of let you just be yourself and chill and just work. As long as you did a good job working, they didn't give a shit.
Right.
But then at the new one, he was like, I think he had some mental health issues.
Okay.
Which made him like very controlling and just weird.
Of the PF Chang's, you say?
Yeah. But he also kind of hated me.
Okay.
And
a little bit of that mixed in.
Yeah, with sprinkling a little bit of hate, and it was like the worst. Like he snatched something out of my hand before. Like he was just mean. Like he was just really mean to me. And yeah, he made me hate that job. And I think I got fired.
Cool.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I got fired from that job too.
Was he mean to you right from the jump, or was it something gradual?
Yes. So I don't know what he heard or what he thought about the Beverly Center location or what. But once it closed, they basically like sent us to different PF chains. And I chose Long Beach because it was right by my house. But he treated me like I had to re-interview. Like he basically made me like re-interview.
Okay, so weird.
Asking me a bunch of questions. Yeah, it was like you kind of have to accept me because I'm a transfer. This is a chain restaurant. And this is like a corporate thing. Like
they literally told me this is what was going to happen.
They told you too.
Yeah.
But he was just kind of like, well, why should I let you work here? Like he was just being really weird. Like over the phone, like my first conversation with him was really off-putting. He was very standoffish and kind of mean, like literally from the beginning, which made me wonder, like, did he hear something about me? Did he hear something about the other restaurant? Like, why is he acting this way? And then even when I started working there, like he made me do like another little like fake interview. It was just really strange. And my other friend,
I was saying, do you think he was just like, put off? Like he was like, look, I don't know how they do things at the fancy schmancy Beverly Center, but here in the small town Long Beach, like super insecure about it.
I don't know if he was insecure, or if he just like didn't like us. Like, I wonder if he saw that it was really laid back and saw that it was really like, we just kind of got to do whatever we wanted. And he just kind of was like, not on my watch. You don't belong here. Like, I don't know. I don't know what he thought, honestly, because I saw him treat some people kind of decent and he just treated me really shitty. So I guess he felt like
a militant PF Chang's.
Kind of, yeah. And it was to the point where, like, if there was no one there and nothing going on and they saw you just kind of standing there, they would get mad at you. It was one of those restaurants where you weren't allowed to sit down. You couldn't do anything. Like, anything that remotely looked fun.
So question, was anybody else transferred, or were you the solo transfer?
I was the solo transfer.
Okay.
But one of my friends quit at the Beverly Center and got hired at the PF Chang's in Long Beach. And he treated him fine.
Interesting.
Right. So I thought like, oh, okay, this should be a pretty smooth transfer. He seems to be pretty accepting.
This happened before it all shut down. So like a couple weeks or something. And
yeah, like maybe a month before everything shut down, he started working there. So I think because he didn't have the control or whatever, he just
Is it like maybe it's like a farming system thing where he wants to feel like he's bringing up these employees? You know, he doesn't want to feel like they're getting shipped into him. You know, he wants to like no, I hired you. Kind of.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if he didn't hire you, he rejected you. I feel like it was something like that.
This guy sounds like the worst.
He was like a nightmare, and he got fired shortly after that.
Good.
Okay. Good. Yeah. Good. Fuck that guy.
That usually happens. Like when people mistreat me at jobs, like they usually get fired.
Well, why do you say it like you're a secret witch? And it's crazy. This crazy accident happens. A car goes off a bridge. I don't know.
They break their femurs. Who would have known?
Well, I don't know why that happens. Is the thing. It's nothing I do. I don't hope they get fired. It's just something that happens.
Bad things happen to bad people. What can you say?
Exactly.
Do you know what he got in trouble for or why he got fired?
I don't actually.
I mean, really, who cares? But I mean, it's just kind of interesting.
I don't. I really don't.
A lot of times what we find out on this show is that they are doing something illegal. Like bosses tend to get fired for what they accuse particular employees of doing. Stealing from the register type stuff. So it's like one. So I didn't know if it was going to be like something that trailed down. Trailed back
question,
like that.
How long were you at each one?
I was at the PF Chang's at the Beverly Center for about a year, maybe more. I really can't remember. Like my memory when it comes to jobs is
right, but a year is a good chunk of time. Like that's a sustain. Like if you're at a place for a year, you're either in a real shitty spot and you can't get out of it, or you're like, I can handle this. You know, because like a year, especially a year serving at the same place, like that's a long time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it is. And I would have stayed there many years after. Like it was great. And then I stayed at the one in Long Beach for like a couple of months.
Got it.
Yeah. But I also worked at a movie theater, which was like a dine-in theater. And that manager treated me really bad. And the funny thing about that is, like, she was just really mean and weird. And she really was militant. Like, I used to, like, watch her and think, like, I wonder if she had, like, this really militant dad who was just really strict and mean, and that's why she's this way. Like, I used to try to come up with reasons but she was mean to everybody. Like, she hated everyone. So it wasn't just me. But she actually, once I left there, I found out that she got fired in this horrific way at like a different job. So basically the owner of that place that I was working at hired her at a different restaurant and completely like embarrassed her and fired her in front of everyone, which she deserved because she did it to several employees at the place I worked at.
Oh, really? Like she like got
a public firing.
Yeah. Killed by her own sword.
Shaming, public firing, like everything basically that she did to everyone else, including myself at the other restaurant, it ended up happening to her at this other.
And you're saying you don't put curses on people.
I don't.
But
I think it's interesting that one of my old coworkers.
I think that is interesting, LaFonda. I think that is kind of interesting. Everyone who crosses you falls, some terrible fate befalls them after.
Actually, a very symmetrical fate befalls.
Yeah,
them. Whatever bad thing they were doing.
It's not me, but she came to me. We were at like a bonfire in LA at the beach, and she's like, "Oh, I meant to tell you." Laura ended up getting fired. The horrible things that she did to you and everyone else, it ended up happening to her, and I couldn't wait to let you know. And I was like, "Thank you." And it was like a year later.
What bonfire are we talking about? That manager isn't at the bonfire. This is somebody else, just like a friend.
No, some of my old coworkers at that particular job, including her.
Got it.
Yeah, they were all at this bonfire. It was like someone's birthday or something.
Yeah.
And so what I assume, like, what happened to her? She got like publicly yelled at, or like pie in the face. What are we talking about as far as like?
She got publicly berated.
Wow.
Man.
Which is something she did to everyone. Like she's one of the few people that I would call evil. Like I really thought there was something seriously wrong with her.
Yeah, I wonder how people like that get in those positions, because I've also had jobs where like my boss is like, "Oh, you're a fucking nightmare. Like, you're a nightmare of a human being. How did you get, But
yeah,
I think they got there because they're a nightmare. I mean,
a little bit of it. Yeah. Like that they're assertive, or, they get the job done or whatever.
Or they just step all over people and lie on people and
straight up lying. I think that's another thing that you really underestimate how much happens at that level, It's just like, they just fucking lie about the things that happened around them. And as long as they get one person to believe them, then like there's the promotion.
Seriously. Yeah. Because even that boss, she lied on me. On something, and it was something small, like which kind of makes sense, because now it lets you know, like, she just lied on people and threw people under the bus a lot. And if you do it for like little small things, for little peon hourly workers, like you're doing it to everybody, basically.
For sure.
Yeah,
you're involved in like a worldwide conspiracy theory to find that Declaration of Independence or something. Yeah, that's wild. Yeah, I think they're just mean people, and the other thing I think it's important is that the people above them really don't give a shit what happens below.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah,
they're just like, all I want is silence. That's my number one thing I want to hear is nothing from you and everybody in this place.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's like a level of like, there's like this gap there that I think works for them in the way of, we're like, well, I don't hear about it. And then when I hear a little bit of stuff, I tell people I don't want to hear about it. And then it goes away, And so then all that shit.
And then also you have the ability, you have deniability.
So
if there's a lawsuit or anything, like you can say you literally don't know. You didn't know anything.
I have not known, and I will not know. Even if you tell me, I'm gonna forget on purpose.
When you worked at the PF Chang's, were you guys allowed to take food home? And if
I was just about to ask about the menu.
Yeah. And if so, was that something your boss gave you a hard time on? Like, because I know that's one way that like bosses will like terrorize. Is just by like clamping down on
shift
stuff
meals
you should get for free,
Exactly. Okay. So the one at the Beverly Center, you were allowed to take food home. You paid for it, of course. I think we got like 50% off. You were allowed to take it home. They didn't care. The one in Long Beach, you couldn't. I think you had to eat it there.
It's like protected in like a vault.
Yeah, yeah.
which made it harder for you to be able to order food because
sure.
one, have to order it by a certain time so that the kitchen's not closed or anything,
Yeah.
or the kitchen's not busy. And then it's like super late by the time you do order it. And of course you want to just take it home, but it's like, no, you can't take it home. You have to eat it here. And it's like, it's midnight. I'm just going to go home and just not eat.
I'll literally do anything other than sit here in the place that I work for like 10 hours.
Yeah, like the whole staff has to stay here, watch me eat egg rolls. No, not gonna happen.
Right, exactly. So yeah.
Of the two bosses, who did you hate more? The PF Chang's and then the movie theater that like got pants.
No, the movie theater. The movie theater lady.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like
she was horrible. I'm surprised that she didn't come in mind first.
Can we talk
she was the worst.
The movie theater setup, this is like a movie theater where like people get served in the theater. Is that the deal?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's a very high end place. Like celebrities, it was riddled with celebrities.
So you bring like a burger or whatever to the inside the theater?
I always fucking hate those places.
Yeah.
Especially the high end ones. But
funny thing is that was the first experience I had with that, and it was fantastic.
Oh.
So that's the thing. Like, I guess I choose really good jobs. But anyway, the food was amazing and the service was amazing. So, and I went there a few times, like on my off days, and it was great. It really was geared towards celebrities. But then I started going to the regular ones, and they're so trash in comparison. I hate them. Yeah, I just don't like. Actually hate them.
I just goddamn like commoners.
Ruining this country. I just don't like the idea of most food groups in the dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a place in my hometown that I am actually a big fan of, Asheville Pizza and Brewing Company. They do beer and pizza. I feel like pizza is very appropriate, but I, at one point or another, ordered non-pizza food, like a burger. And it's just like, the fuck is going on? Like, especially if you get into like a real rainy thriller, you know what I mean? Like there's no light coming from the screen.
Yeah.
Or like eating a salad in the theater. Like, what the fuck am I doing? I could double. Why am I doubling two things that I like? Like I could get maximum enjoyment from having this first and then watching the movie. Anyway,
it is kind of funny to think about, like you like dealing with food while watching a rainy thriller. Like when I think of a rainy thriller, I think of like Seven. Yeah, you're just like trying to eat mashed potatoes and steak in the dark.
But even
that's the fattest you'll ever feel, is just eating steak in the dark.
Well, I will tell you the trick though, at least at the high end ones,
please,
that allow you to do this. The trick is, as soon as you sit down, you order your food,
and you just eat it, and then the movie starts.
While the house lights are up.
Sure. That's fine. I mean, I respect that. I'm not trying to like shit on the craft of movie theaters that serve food, but to me, it's also kind of like, again, why am I such a skinny, weird table?
Yeah.
Again, I'm not gonna be won over by this. Only because
I always thought it was like a middle school desk that you have to bring down.
It's like weirdly thin in front of you, like a row. Again, a perfect place to set like a glass of beer or fries. Something basic. But as soon as you actually get into like a real food situation,
right?
To me, it becomes very challenging. But,
especially if you're getting like salad or.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're in LA, like there's gonna be salads on the menu, and they're gonna be good,
Yeah, you at the high one, you're like, man, crab was a mistake. Shouldn't have been crab. You're cracking legs and shit. What is the?
Sorry, I'm just thinking of someone like watching like Avengers Endgame or something, like a super long movie, but like with some really quiet parts too, where it's like.
Yeah. Just like Spider-Man dies, and just like, oh no. What is the protocol for like celebrities in that type of space? And I know like jobs I've had in LA, there is often an official celebrity protocol you have, like if a restaurant or like a grocery store is like, we know who comes in here, so this is how you act. But if it's geared towards celebrities, is that, I just think, like, is it even more strict because they're like, look, you never know, Seth Green, Macaulay Culkin might come in at any moment. So
at the same time,
celebrity picks.
I don't know. I don't know, because I'm trying to think of like celebrities that I know.
You never know who it could be. It could be the most famous person in the world, Carrot Top. You know.
Yeah. I think it's because I've seen Seth Green at the movies a few times.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I could run into Macaulay Culkin at any moment in any weird situation.
Well, let me set the bar a little higher. But I met Magic Johnson.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I ran into Jason Bateman, and he gave me his classic face because we literally ran into each other, and he just looked at me like, "Move," and I was like, "All right."
Yeah, the Jason Bateman half smile.
I met and spoke with Henry Winkler.
Okay. Wow.
But
Yeah.
Okay.
I was his server.
Sure.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got
The bar is a little higher.
Mhm.
And even with him, it was cute because I was like, "Hey, I'm Fonda," and he was like, "What's your name?" And I was like, "Fonda." And, he's the Fond.
Yeah.
So
Mhm,
like,
right.
Nice.
And what I loved about him was he went out of his friend paid for their meal, but he went out of his way. Like he actually left the theater because I was standing. So we used to have to stand outside of the cinema doors
Yeah.
before the movie was over. And I was standing out there waiting for it to be over so they can leave. And he came out looking for me to tip me because he knew his friend probably wasn't going to tip me very well, which his friend did not. So
good thinking, Henry Winkler.
Oh, dude, the Fonz,
good man.
just the coolest.
Yeah,
Just the
very,
coolest.
very good man. But the protocol really was to, and I feel like, living in LA, I feel like the protocol is basically the same, which is like, don't ignore them, but just kind of ignore them. Like
Sure.
you're supposed to pretend that they're not there in a sense, or you're supposed to pretend that they're not celebrities.
Yeah, don't ignore them, but do ignore their status.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Except, but also be super nice to them.
Yeah.
I think
But
that's
also
the
cater
LA.
to their every need.
It's like you're not Magic Johnson. You're just a different 6'9" Hall of Fame basketball guy.
Right. Like literally when I saw him, I was like, "Hello." And he said, "Hey, beautiful." And I was like, "All right." And he just went on in, and that was it. So you acknowledge them, but you're not acknowledging them as a celebrity in the sense of like trying to take pictures with them or asking them questions or doing anything that you wouldn't appreciate anyone doing to you anywhere.
So LaFonda, we always close the podcast with 3 questions. And the first question, and it's related to your worst job. So let's say it's PF Chang's, is when were you done and how did you quit? You said you might have gotten fired.
I did get fired.
Yeah. Did you get fired for something, or you just kind of get fired?
I did get fired for something, but it was something I didn't do. It was like something weird, but I kind of felt like this was coming too. Like I remember sending emails to the human resources because there were like things they were doing that were wrong, and I did feel like I was being picked on. It was like weird. And so he started trying to make changes so that it looked like what he basically stopped doing some of the stuff that I emailed them about.
Right.
But I don't specifically remember what it was. It was something really small that he was allowed to fire me for that anywhere else I probably wouldn't have gotten fired for.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But I totally understood what it was. It was like, okay, I don't like
It's like
anyway.
it was like a hit job.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had
like you clocked out late one time or something. And it was just like,
Yeah, it was something like that where I was like, really? I just remember being in the office and saying, you did this on purpose. Like I remember saying that to him.
Oh,
like,
wow.
And he was like laughing.
Oh, dude,
man, that guy sucks.
What a piece of shit.
He was horrible. He was.
Oh, dude.
He was, but see, the difference with him and the other lady is I felt like he like specifically targeted me and didn't like me and wanted me out. Whereas I felt like they were both like psychopaths in a way, but I felt like with her, she just didn't discriminate. It was like,
sure.
She hated everybody.
Yeah, and that's a little more easy to understand. It's just like, okay, got it. You're an awful person just in general, and I just happen to be in front of you at the moment.
Exactly. Whereas with him, it's like, what did I do to you? I'm just working here.
Yeah.
Gonna get some fucking fried rice. Okay, well, question number 2 is for the PF Changs. What's one good thing you took from that very bad job? If it's nothing, we can also transition to the movie thing.
Well, okay. So that particular PF Chang's was in a gorgeous area, and it was like in downtown Long Beach. You know where the Ferris wheel is?
Yes.
Okay, it was over there, and I'm sure that PF Chang's is still there. Completely different management, so you guys should totally visit. But
yeah, definitely.
The area was so beautiful, and I loved walking over there. And even when I would leave work at night and we would walk to like Yard House to go drink, I just love walking along that area. Like if I moved back to Southern California, I would totally live there. Like
downtown Long Beach is quite romantic in a way.
It is. It's beautiful. Like they have lights and the giant Ferris wheel and the beach, and the weather is really nice. Yeah, it was gorgeous.
So just those nightly rambles through the town.
That was what I liked the most, which is sad because it has nothing to do with the job itself.
Yeah, but I don't know. There is a majesty to those just your like sort of physical memory of those like late night, just like walking through town where you kind of feel like the whole town's yours a little bit.
Yeah,
so, not a bad town to feel like that in.
And it's not like downtown LA where you feel like you might get attacked in a second.
Yeah. Downtown LA, you can get peed on at any second.
Any second.
Any time of day. Could be 9 a.m. Okay, so the last question, not related to those jobs, thank God, is since the pandemic hit, a lot of people's like careers and stuff have sort of like either been sidelined or definitely sidetracked. How you doing with all that? What are your thoughts? I know you're also in Atlanta where things are obviously doing fine. So maybe it's all groovy.
Well, I will say that in terms of my acting career, before COVID, I was getting like several auditions a week,
Momentum.
multiple a month. Like it was really picking up. They were nice size roles too, like recurring roles and series regular and guest star and supporting and
chunky roles.
Really chunky roles for really prominent television shows. And that was very hopeful. And then COVID hit and it was just nothing. So it went from getting like several weeks to like several in like a 7-month period. So now recently I've started seeing more auditions. Like I just did, and I say just loosely, like in June, we shot like a Cricket Wireless commercial, and then that aired in September. And I had a couple of auditions in September, and I have a few actually that are due in like a couple of days now. One's for a movie, one's for a TV show. So I'm definitely noticing that they're picking back up.
So maybe unpaused. In a
I
sense.
think it's pretty much unpaused out here. I need to talk to some of my LA friends and see how it's looking for them, or what do you guys think? Like, have you guys seen a difference?
I mean, as far for me, like I have like no acting kind of anything, but it's like stand up. It seems like there's more stuff to do, but they just haven't figured out how to have stand up that's like it's like you can do stand up but everyone's in a park really far away from each other, it's like so, and just by nature it's such a thing where like the best
proximity matters
the best stand up is when you're all like in a tight basement together, and that's just not going to be a cool idea for a long time.
Supposedly things are happening, but I would not call things unpaused. I think as far as like the like film industry goes, effectively things are unpaused for a lot of people. Again, I'm not auditioning, but supposedly.
One of my old I wouldn't call her a friend. She's an associate of mine from Sacramento, from back home. I was looking at her page and she said she had like 8 auditions like that.
Yeah, I think
in LA, and I was like, dang.
I think things are getting started. I think people are prepping for all of that. I mean, I kind of think that it's something bad's going to happen, but whatever. That's me. LaFonda, where can people find you on the internet if you'd like to be found?
I am on Instagram at Pretty Chocolate Diva, and that's basically it. I'm
Great.
off of Facebook right now because Facebook sucks.
It's getting wild.
Yeah.
Well, we'll put the link to your Instagram in the show notes. So if you want to follow LaFonda, you can. And thank you so much for joining us. It's been
Been
great.
awesome.
Thank you for having me. This is really fun.
Yeah,
I'm glad.
This is a good time.
And fuck this place. Nick, guess what?
What?
We have a write-in.
We got write-ins, Chase?
We got write-ins aplenty. Who's it's and what's it's galore, you might even say.
Give me them write-ins.
Thanksgiving's on its way, but Nick is getting hungry for some write-ins. If you want to write in, just so you know, you can text the number. It's 470-223-5627. That's 470-223-5627. And you can write in and we'll tell you things. We'll read your write-in on the show.
Mhm.
I mean, unless you're real mean, in which case maybe I won't. But otherwise, I mean, 9 times out of 10, we're going to read it. The write-in today, speaking of text messages, actually comes from a DM on Instagram, which you could do as well.
Ooh.
We're on Instagram at fuck this place pod, just
Mhm.
FUCK this place pod. Everywhere else it's FCK, but for some reason I want to leave it at FUCK on Instagram. I don't know why.
Dude, fuck it.
It's branding wise, it's inconsistent and you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's ever gonna take FCK this place, you know. But I just
Man,
I really like that Instagram lets us say fuck.
So you're saying it just slid into our DMs with that shitty job.
That's correct, Mundo. So you can
Mhm.
message us there as well, and we can hash it out. So Brittany messages.
What up, Brittany?
Yes, thank you very much, Brittany, for writing in. And the message begins. We have a little bit to get through, so we're gonna kind of like chip away. Message says, "I saw your account on TikTok tonight and actually laughed out loud several times." Thank you. Brittany.
Hell yeah! Thank you very much, Brittany.
Thank you. And Nick is actually back on TikTok. Is that correct?
Yeah, but not really.
Okay. Yeah, because Nick got banned.
I got super banned from TikTok.
So, it's not, once Nick's account gets rolling again, but we're on a TikTok at FCK. Place.
They brought the hammer down on me.
They really did. They really
murdered my account.
Yeah, Nick shared over, because we had Dwayne Perkins, great episode. You shared a clip of his stand-up, which I think is an Amazon special. Maybe?
Yeah. It was copywritten content.
And we think that's what it was.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to go too down the rabbit hole, but someone just recently asked me, and I think it's because I uploaded copywritten material. You can do that on TikTok if there's some sort of disruption in the audio, which is like you're talking over the clip.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so of course, why would I disrupt the clip from the, you know what I mean?
From actual stand-up. Yeah.
So
next time when you upload it, you'll just be like, this guy's on the podcast. He's really great. I know you can't hear his jokes right now, but let me tell you. And then by the time you finish talking, he's like, school, man, you know?
And that's how they died.
But yeah, we are on TikTok, FCK this place. And we're on every platform as FCK this place, except for Instagram as FUCK, because again, I just like that they let us say the word. I have a few really awkward employment stories that include accidentally quitting and not just speaking up soon enough to turn it around. Big fan.
Oh man. I heard that's how Barry Sanders, former running back in the NFL, retired. Was that someone thought he said I'm tired, and they thought he said I'm retired, and then they started the process of him being retired, and then that's what. I don't know that to be true, but that's immediately what I thought of.
Is that like a sort of urban legend story?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
That's hilarious. And then she finishes, and this one is about being a fucking moron. Enjoy. And I gave it a little heart, just so everybody knows. I'm giving love throughout these messages.
You want a heart? Slide in them DMs.
Just say hey. Okay, so then the real story begins. It says, when I was 18 or 19, I was looking for a job, like you do. I get that.
Same.
After browsing some ads in the paper, I saw the position of a potter, or maybe pottery painter, at Miranda Thomas Pottery, which, very ambitious to want to respond to this. I believe the ad said apply in person, which was good because I had a new 6-inch long mini skirt that I considered interview appropriate, which maybe, I guess isn't. But if you're an 18 or 19-year-old, if you're going to, a restaurant job, maybe. Yeah.
And you're like, I got this new skirt. I just saw the movie Ghost. I'm doing this.
The only two associations that make it feel like it's worth your while. Like, I know that Whoopi Goldberg is dead. Is she the one who's dead? I can't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
It feels like the text is too big. It says,
Is that movie about a killer? It doesn't matter. All right.
Yeah, I really have no idea what the plot of that is. I just know it's a great punchline. I showed up, didn't even know what door to enter through, which let me just actually back up and say pottery studios and industrial spaces, very confusing.
Yeah, it all looks like back of house.
Yeah, correct. You're just like, is this the back door or is this the back door?
Yeah.
And both of them are employees only. So in your defense, it's not being dumb. That's a difficult place because they're not designed for customers. But I found myself, like you do, standing in front of some people sitting at a table working. I knew I was unqualified as soon as I walked in. This clearly wasn't going to be a job where I just paint things one solid color or do some assembly line type task. Shit. The whole what effing door do I enter through thing already flustered me. So I just I assume she means announced, to the small room of people that I saw the job in the paper and was interested. Crickets.
Very hear ye.
She like brings the paper.
Yeah.
Proof.
So
you
called, I answered, sir.
I have been summoned. I mean, again, real out of context place to be. I do wonder, maybe we'll find this out as we go, but what made you think it was going to be just painting things one color? I'm not saying that that's what I don't know what I would assume because now I'm too mixed up in her assumptions. But, most pottery that I've seen, when I think of pottery, I definitely don't think of one color, I know that things are pottery, you go to Pottery Barn, you get plates, they're all one fucking color, but I don't, I don't think of pottery in that way. What do I think about pottery? Crickets. I got that sort of nervous where your whole body gets hot. Good thing I only had a mini skirt and probably a tube top on. So, easy breezy.
Yeah. So the way you're describing this, you showing up in this outfit and then making a big announcement. It's just like somebody's like, "Oh, did we hire a stripper? What's going on?"
Or maybe like a beauty queen contestant. Just sort of like, well, here I am. As I'm standing in the middle of the room, which how'd you get so far into the room? Is my question. A guy
maybe
at the table.
That's where she made her announcement.
Yeah, I mean, I will also say that again, a lot of the spaces are like. Where, an industrial space where like you have to walk into the middle of the room before you even run into anybody.
Yeah.
Like you walk into an office and you're like you're in like, let's say COVID, you're like already unsafely close to someone. Sure. But in like industrial spaces, it's like you walk in, who knows? Yeah. Like, and you have to walk all the way across the floor of a warehouse before you actually run into a human being.
So I was standing on a chair. And I started yelling.
I assumed they could not hear me over the machinery. As I'm just standing in the middle of the room, the guy at the table, so there's these people that are at this table, basically started interviewing me. So you're just standing there, again, on a chair, asking questions about my experience. So logically, I just started lying. Yeah, why not?
Okay.
Brittany. The fact that I said I was interested in the job put me in too deep to say, sorry, I'm effing new to earth and clearly misunderstood what this job would be. Which that statement would really get us out of a lot if we would actually let it fly. I'm new to this earth and I didn't understand what this meant.
Yeah.
Please forgive me. Here we go. Just digging a deep hole. I talked about working with a potter in Boston. Couldn't tell them who because that was a complete lie. Winning art awards in high school, which if that's a lie, like, come on, man, people work hard for those art awards.
Yeah. And also say college.
Yeah. I mean, again, you're 18, like you could feasibly be at a community college by now.
Yeah, say something.
Yeah. Well, that's again, speaking of being new at this earth, you don't realize what, not just like how to lie, but the right kind of lie.
Yeah. You're definitely lying like you're a UFO. I will give you that.
Yeah. Not inspiring a lot of faith. Like for instance, don't name shit that's super close by, you know. Like I'm guessing if this person's saying in Boston, like these people know Boston, so maybe this is in New England somewhere or whatever. But you know, like say Albuquerque, you know.
No, I was gonna say I like to think they're in Albuquerque, and she was just like, "What's a place no one here's been to?" Boston.
Okay, well, and and honestly, good for you if that came to you that quickly.
Had a job in Montreal.
in sweet Paris. Okay. Winning art awards in high school. Thinking about going to art school. That's a great lie. All lies that I very poorly strung together. Okay. Brittany
and she's sweating. She's very hot. She's just very uncomfortable throughout all these lies. Yes.
What she doesn't know is there's like a pottery kiln right beside her. It's 10,000 degrees. Then they asked to see my portfolio. Oh, right. Of course. It's just out in my car. I'll be right back. I think we know what's heading here.
Yep.
I walked out to quote unquote get my portfolio and just drove away.
And just started a new life, you say.
And I went to Boston for the first time. I found that Potter. I made a portfolio and I came back. And then she concludes, and there you have it, the beginning and end of my career in the art world. Hilarious.
That is pretty good. There's just probably like 25 minutes before someone was like, I don't think she's coming back.
Do you think that or do you think that happened to them all the time?
No, I don't know. That's a good question. I mean, I don't think so. I kind of think,
yeah, I think you're right.
I think maybe it happens enough that someone not followed her out, but was like, I'm going to give her 30 seconds outside before I look outside to see if she's driving away, and she's driving away. Just kind of,
yeah. You know. I think you're right. I think actually there's probably not a lot of people that stumbled into the room. Grabbed a chair, stood on top of it, and said,
it is weird. It is weird. And I would say a little shitty that somebody just started interviewing her, because if
that's
it was
shitty.
Yeah, because it's like if it was someone of authority in that company, they would be like, hey, like I'm Mitch, I'm the supervisor here, you know, but there would be some kind of like a business transaction soundy kind of talk right up top.
That or just the bare minimum of like, let me take you somewhere private or semi-private. You know what I mean? Like, let's go sit on the bench outside.
Yeah. You get like a cool guy that's just like, let me get you away from these fucking assholes, you know? And then
that cool guy.
Boys. Yeah, you know, and so
he's got like a bunch of keys hanging off the thing, you know.
He does the thing where he's like, oh, shake your hand, I got clay on it, sorry. You know, he's just like he's kind of cool like that.
Exactly. Yeah, he wipes it on his pants. He's like, we got this. Let's chat it out. Let's rap.
Yeah. Let's rap.
It's definitely it's super shitty of them to just start interviewing.
And it makes me feel like they're doing a bit. So back to your point about how many people have walked in, enough people have walked in to where they have this bit down.
Yeah, not stand up and do anything about it.
Yeah. To have one of them just jumps in and be like, don't worry, I'll take it. So tell me about your interest. You know, and so
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really villainizing these guys. I don't know, but I don't like them at the end of my own story.
You know, I think that's also like these guys didn't write into the podcast. Brittany did. So
yeah, it's true. That's a good point.
So, you know, I've got a lot more loyalty to Brittany than I've ever had to these Potter douche nozzles. You know, I guess my only question, Brittany, is, you know, like, you know, how's your new life on like a sailboat in the Bahamas?
Yeah. I was thinking she was like working on boats in the bayou.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fan boats.
Something real away. She dresses like Robert De Niro in Cape Fear. just like Hawaiian shirts, very humid, big cool hat.
Knows like, a little too much about gators.
Yeah. Swindler hat, you know? Yeah. My question, Brittany, is how often do you think about this? How often does this memory come into your head, and when do you reference it? I know you saw Us, and obviously it's like probably went off like a light.
Yeah.
But,
I would say that this is something like, for me, this is something that comes up when I can't sleep, you know?
Sure.
You can't sleep and you're just like, oh man, I can't sleep. And then my brain's like, well, you know what you were also a super big fucking loser about?
Yeah. I have a nasty habit, and I've been working on it, where when I have a memory come up that something like this in my life,
Mhm.
it causes me like a visceral reaction. Like
Of
I have
course.
like a pain where I out like go, "Argh!" Like I'll just make a weird noise because I get so much pain from the memory.
Yeah.
And I feel like this would do that to me.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I call that the Eye of Sauron in the Lord of the Rings, where just like all takes over
yeah,
for just like 1 second, and then you're fine again.
yeah. The Eye of Sauron.
Yeah, like that situation is an eye is an Eye of Sauron for Brittany. So anyway, hope you hope that doesn't haunt your dreams too much.
Yeah.
And if it does, let us know. Maybe we can do something about that too.
Mhm. Thank you for writing in, Brittany.
And thank you very much for writing in. And yeah, and again, you can write in, you can DM us on Instagram if you want, but you can text us too. Fuck that place.
Fuck that place.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
If you enjoyed today's episode, leave a review so that other people can find us. The way that works is when you leave a review, then like some weird robot somewhere goes like, man, I bet you this podcast is pretty cool. And the robot listens to it and is like, actually, it's amazing. People see the podcast more when they like search like, I hate my fucking job on the podcast app, which obviously is how you got here. So, it's just a way of sharing the love. Thank you so much. Bye for now.